Yo, it's Motman. You listen to Shotgun The Aux. Bow.
Which brings us on to our guest for episode 34 of Shotgun The Aux. Motman, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, good, man. Big ups for having me.
What's happening?
Just put this out. Just put Everyday Craft out with Parky. Yeah, man. Just here, innit?
Mate,
Yeah.
it's sick, man. And
Big
and
ups,
we've
bro.
also got other Tom on the podcast. I'm not going to gloss over the fact that we're Jakeless today. I was just going to address you as
Standing
Jake throughout the entire
Go for
podcast,
it. It
man.
might make it
If
easier,
anyone
Tom.
noticed, but so yeah, we've actually got 3 Toms in the house. So Aiden's feeling a little bit
Out Tom.
Yeah, man. Out Tom's definitely.
so safe, man. And you boys drove all the way down from Bristol, which is just mind blowing to me. That we started this thing out, and now people are actually taking the time out of their day to
Yeah,
drive down
that's
to
right.
us. So yeah,
Oh, it's wicked, man. You're doing
Props.
a lot for the scene right now as well. Do you know what I mean? I think it's something that's been lacking for a while. Is a show where people can just come and talk how they want to talk. Do you know what I mean?
that's it, man.
There's no bullshit with it. It's just what it is. And
100%, man. No, I appreciate that. And so yeah, we talked about the track Unity that played in, and this is from your new album, Everyday Craft, and solely produced by UK veteran Micall Parknsun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've looked through your discography, and before you had kind of multiple producers and stuff on previous projects.
Yeah.
So what kind of got you onto the soul MC producer dynamic in this album? Is that something that happened organically?
To be fair, I've been a big fan of Parky's stuff for a while.
Yeah, legend, man.
Yeah, and the whole kind of movement, Low Life Records, all of that kind of time. And I'd seen him live a few times, and we just linked up, and he messaged me, seeing if I needed beats, and it was just kind of organic. I heard the beats and was like, yeah, I think this is a guy I really wanted to work with anyway. So, and for him to be feeling it as well, this is a real
We were chatting about this before, weren't we?
confidence
It's
boost,
almost
yeah.
That's amazing, man, because it's almost one thing to have him produce your beats, but then also to endorse what you're doing as an artist as well.
Yeah.
It must feel really good.
That's another thing. I didn't want it to be just solely my record. If his name's on it and his face is on the product, I wanted him to be 100% happy with it as well. Because
Yeah, man.
I think that's the best way if we both push something than just having someone else's name. Because I've got beats on people before, and it's all through the internet and stuff. But it doesn't feel like I'll ring Parky and we'll have conversations. Do you know what I mean?
That's it, man.
It's a nice, it feels.
So he's a prolific beat maker, really.
Yeah,
Besides being a rapper, he's always working. He's always grafting.
But he's got an album coming out later this year with Giallo Point as well.
Man, that fucking Juggernaut album was insane.
Incredible.
It's one of my favourite UK hip hop releases this year, easily.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Yeah, I was listening to Capo on the way up as well.
Yeah.
Just that
Loving
Nottingham
that.
kind of.
Yeah.
That's dope. They've got a mad different style, I guess, up there as well. Do you know what I mean?
It
Yeah,
felt
man.
pretty futuristic.
Yeah, man. They're pretty mad beats as well.
Amazing.
So looping you in, Tom, man. So explain to our listeners who you are, because your name's actually on this project as well. right?
Well, I've recorded all the vocals, so we just get beats from Parky, and we just get together in the studio and
So you're Circa, aren't you?
That is Tom.
No,
Tom
I'm
Bryan.
Tom.
Oh,
Circa.
Tom
Big ups to
Bryan.
Circa as well.
That's
He's
bad,
a
isn't it?
dope producer. Makes loads of mad stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've just engineered the vocals and put the mix together at the end, but I'm not involved in any. I'm sort of enabling it, but I'm not kind of musically really involved on any level apart from to think about how we can kind of layer vocals up and stuff at the end of kind of when we've got a really strong lead vocal, which pretty much every single track on here is the first take, and it's all one take all the way through.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Pretty much all of it. Yeah.
I'll send you the multi-tracks if you
yeah.
believe me.
I want proof, man.
But there's so the stuff that we put, Tom's obviously written the lyrics and everything, just puts it out there in pretty much one go. And then we think about just layering it certain lines and just double tracking vocals and stuff like that. But yeah, to just try and keep it as just raw and direct and human as possible. Because a lot of stuff is chopped up and moved around and so on.
Yeah,
and
you do
comping
get that,
vocals
yeah.
and all of that. But that's not how we roll at all. We just.
I think we
it's
spoke
live,
about it
basically.
on last week's episode as well. A lot of features you don't actually know whether they've come together they do it most of the
Yeah.
time. Like they've never actually.
Yeah, they're not even been in the same room.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
It's like the modern way, innit? I think.
Although
Yeah.
there has been some of that, like pinging stuff backwards and forwards. I mean, we've probably done 3 times as many tracks as there are actually on the album.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're
You know,
still got some
and we're still working on
hidden
stuff.
gems.
But I guess like logistically, like sometimes it has to be that way. You know, it's kind of the modern way, and with features and stuff like that. Obviously, if you have the kind of like, you know, if you have the advantage, if people being in the same studio and working together that way. But some artists we've spoken to like working alone. Do you know what I mean? And then piecing it together afterwards. So it all depends on the individual and their whole creative process, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Yeah.
We did a track with Rev recently, didn't we? And just sent him like the track and your sort of first verse just kind of out of the blue. And he pinged something back within like an hour or whatever, didn't he?
On his mic, he's got a mic and he's got a tennis racket with a sock over it as his pop shield, and that's
No
how
way.
he recorded it.
His vocals sound good though.
Yeah,
so
it's
UK
whatever
hip hop,
works.
man.
He's on the Stardog track, and he recorded it with that. Obviously, Tom made it sound playable, but
That
it's
sounded
mad.
good already,
He's
though,
got a
but
little
yeah.
£10 mic, little handheld
Is it?
mic. Yeah,
Oh mate, that's
just puts that in front of it, just so it's got a bit of like.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
that's it. I mean, I've even seen like Instagram stories and videos where people like record literally with like a duvet over there or like a towel over their head, straight to the mic, man.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like with technology, isn't it? You can kind of get the same, or very close to the same sort of thing, can't you? Without going to like a
Yeah, you
proper-
don't need to
proper
be. I
studio.
mean, most of all the vocals we've recorded, none of it's been done in a booth kind of thing.
Right.
Like people often see, for some reason, like people always seem to think that you've got to record vocals in like a little booth kind of thing. But the reason for the existence of the booth is to just isolate the sound from the rest of the studio. You know, if you want it to sound like kind of boxy and dead, then record in a booth. But otherwise, just like record it in a room.
Record in a front room like this.
Yeah,
and-
and just make sure it doesn't sound bad, but like, you know, and not overly roomy. But yeah, like for me, that's how people sound when they're talking to you or whatever. You know, you're not like in a little box with people most of the time, are you? Like stylistically, I don't know. I like the sound of
No, I
like a
agree
more
with
like
that.
Mate,
live,
you can
real vocal.
tell you're an engineer, man. Like,
Yeah.
you can tell.
That's why I brought him along, because
to fill in the gaps. Like,
I'd
you
be
take this one,
like,
Tom.
next question.
Well, I overthink this stuff, so no
No,
one
it's
else
good,
has
man.
to. It's good. Yeah.
It's good.
So man, obviously you've got like a few other like veterans on the album, like
Yeah.
G-Bag and others and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of refreshing that like and without sounding like you're a young head, right?
Bro. Yeah.
23,
23, yeah. Just
and
23, yeah.
and bridging the gap with some of these kind of like
Yeah, man.
older heads.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, man. I think obviously it depends what approach you want to take and what features you want, but is that something that happened organically, or were you fans of these artists? And
Well, Flowtex. We'll start with Flowtex. Flowtex is a very good mate of mine. Grizzliest voice. I've been in contact with him for a while. He's done a lot for me, to be honest. A real nice guy.
yeah.
And it was his idea to get G-Bag on it. I love G-Bag, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have not put him on the track. He's dope. But I hadn't had that idea. He said G-Bag would sound dope on this. And I thought, yeah, let's holler G-Bag. He was down. Originally, he was just going to do a hook on it. And then I think the track sounded so nice. He'd done a verse as well. Jabba the Cut. It's local.
He's from Bournemouth.
Oh, is he? Yeah, wicked. Yeah, man. Again, I've had him on like Facebook and stuff for a while. Talked a lot about music in the past, and like, yeah, man. I just remember that Sonny Jim tune in it, where it's like Flying to the Moon one, Jabba the Cut. That name stuck out, and I was like, oh, it's that guy. He's got a crazy name, and linked up.
So obviously, but like, how did you get into kind of the UK scene then? Obviously, like being a fan of those guys.
Yeah.
And being so
foremost,
young.
man. Yeah.
Like, what was your introduction to like? Well, let's go back even further to hip hop.
Yeah. Well, the first UK rapper I actually heard, I think, was Dizzy. To be fair.
Yeah.
Skinny man as well. Used to get passed around on the phones or whatever at school. Yeah, man. Like, so Dizzy, Skinny, Jest as well.
Yeah, man.
They're the 3 first kind of rappers I heard, and obviously they've all got different styles as well, and they've all emerged differently in the scene or whatever. But those 3, they've stuck in my head for just being like the kind of guys that made me like, they kind of sound a little bit more like me, because before then I was listening to like Eminem stuff. First thing I got introduced to, and then kind of do the back thing, listening to who he's listening to. Do you know what I mean? Then got deep into hip hop and like listen to like Cool G rap, stuff like that. Cool
Oh,
Keith.
right. So you started off kind of like surface level American stuff.
Yeah.
Got
I've
into
listened
the
to
UK
American
stuff.
before the UK
Yeah,
stuff, really.
I think that's the same with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people, like a lot of younger heads, go in through UK hip hop first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm always interested to find out like how people get into it, man.
I've always had friends that are a bit older as well, so they'd pass me stuff down and be like, "Oh, you had this guy?" And alright. Yeah. So yeah, man. Luckily, yeah.
But
had good people around me to show me stuff.
I think that whole kind of bridging the gap with the young and the older generation is quite good for the scene. Like using, I mean, like Verbs, for example, like linked up with like Lewis Parker for a track.
Amazing.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then you've got like in the States, obviously a bit more like, you know, like the big release was obviously Gangstar with J. Cole.
Yeah.
And J. Cole exposing a lot of his fans to Gangstar. Do you know what I mean? I think that's really fucking sick if you look at it that way. Logic had like fucking Wu-Tang. Well, fuck Logic, but you know, like I like the sentiment behind it. Do you know what I mean? Having like the whole of the Wu-Tang on a track as well.
Are you fans of Logic?
I don't know actually too well.
No.
So yeah.
I'm not gonna say yeah or no because I haven't really heard much of his stuff. I like the UK Logic.
Yeah.
People's Army and that. But I heard the tune he done with Eminem.
Tom over here's like, I like the software. Like,
I like sounds.
But nah, man, I'm not too sure, really.
Yeah. But I just kind of like that. It's good
number
that
two.
it's good that you're kind of, you know, doing that.
Yeah, nah.
Well,
I feel us, man.
It's amazing to have someone like Parky involved, and I mean, you know, like as an engineer and just a music fan, yeah, like when you bring in a new beat, I'm just like, wow.
First, I think first time I saw Parky perform was he supported Juzza down here in Bournemouth at the old fire station. How many years ago? I can't remember, but yeah, he was really really good, man.
Yeah, he's got nice mix of tunes to bang out for live shows as well. I think that like definitely the energy's there as well. First time I seen him perform was with Joker Star as well.
Yeah,
and he had orchestra with him. I'm not sure the name of the orchestra. So
he had an orchestra with him.
It's incredible, bro. Like, yeah, like
that's mad.
20 people in the band or something, maybe a bit more.
Is
that
in Bristol? And
is it?
Yeah, he
Are they doing an MF Doom like rendition soon?
I think it might be that. Yeah,
I think I saw.
They went around touring. I'm pretty but that was amazing because I hadn't seen anything like that really before. And just for everyone was playing an instrument and like it all worked. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of work behind that, and you normally just have the DJ and just someone rapping, which is cool.
Yeah.
But like, it was definitely, and the crowd was mad as well. And I was a bit like, oh, this is the first time. Like we'd done a couple tunes together, but that's the first time we linked up properly.
Yeah.
And first person I smoked Stardog with as well. So that's why the Stardog tune come about. It's actually it's all real.
It's all real.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
I like that, man.
So did seeing that sort of show? Did that inspire you or make you want to do live performances any sort of way? Yeah,
definitely, man. I think the fact that just how calm and collected he was, obviously everyone gets nervous to a certain degree, like, do you know what I mean? But just the way that with the crowd as well, because it was a mixed crowd. Bristol's quite like, do you know what I mean? There's quite a mix of people anyway. So, but he catered to the crowd perfectly, and yeah, man, I was watching from backstage, innit?
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice,
that was a good moment for me, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Nice one, man.
Smashed it.
So, and the track that we played in with Unity, obviously talks about a lot of like topical issues, you know, like fascism, like racism, all of this kind of like important stuff. It's very like socially conscious, right?
Yeah, man.
Is that kind of like what made you want to make music like that? So was it like a conscious decision? Were you kind of like you wanted to break from? Because you hear a lot of like young kids rapping about like just weed and everything else and whatnot, and it all kind of becomes a bit samey. Whereas like I heard it and I was like, damn, man, this guy's got
big ups, bro.
Got something to say.
Well, for us,
and can I just say fuck Tommy Robinson, man? Like,
who? Well, for my family are from Luton originally.
Yeah, actually, Bellend, whatever his name is.
Fuck Tommy Robinson.
He's history,
but yeah,
isn't he?
just and the whole that I wrote that track around the whole kind of milkshake incident as well.
Did you?
Like, yeah, because I said originally for the video, I said to the guy like try and get some of the clips in, but didn't want to like, do you know what I mean?
Legal.
Didn't really want to use that. I didn't really want to have him in the video, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's a funny video though. Like,
it's sort of glorifying it.
But it is. It's giving him the attention, but he like, do you know what I mean? And he's the sort of person that's like, I'm in the newspaper, even if it's something bad. Like
Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
I
any
don't know,
publicity is good publicity. Do you know what I mean? So
I just want, just talking about what's going on, really, man. And just like living in Bristol is a diverse city anyway, and it's just like all the people I talk to and interact with are different, from different communities, different religions, different walks of life. So it's like I feel like I almost owe them something for just being real people and just being around them. Do you know what I mean?
That, man.
So,
I rate that.
That's really cool. I
big ups,
like
man.
how you've taken that sort of conscious decision to portray that in your music and actually make sort of important, statements and actually send out a message. Because like you said, Tom, a lot of rappers, and it's not a bad thing. Like everyone raps about what they want to rap about.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't having a dig at people for rapping,
or
because I mean,
anything.
like, no doubt you rap about weed and whatnot as well. Like, I mean, you
I think a lot of people smoke weed, so
Yeah.
But I guess if that's your soul thing, that's your soul
just
thing.
look at the front cover of the album, for example.
I love that. I love that cover.
But
well,
I
man.
like.
Shouts to Liam Chapman as well.
It's
real,
good to have.
real dope artist, man.
Yeah, he
from
did a
Leeds.
wicked video. So
Yeah,
Oh,
he
sorry,
done,
man. What was his name?
Liam Chapman.
Liam Chapman.
Decoy Bean 88 on Instagram. If you check his stuff out, he's got some crazy
Decoy
stuff.
Bean 88.
Yeah, wicked name, isn't it?
Rate that, man. I'll rate
But
that.
yeah, he done the back and the front, and then he's got this tag done years ago from Physics from Scotland. They got the tat as well, innit?
Oh
But
yeah.
man, just every rapper has got their name tattooed on their right arm, innit? I've noticed that with a lot of people, but we
Should
can,
have gone on your left arm, mate.
Yeah.
Just like, go against the grain.
but yeah, man, he done
Would
that.
have been
and,
ostracised from Bristol. Just
yeah.
like, get out.
Shouts to Blanca as well. Bubonic done the tats as well, keeping it all.
So,
Yeah.
what made you choose the name Motman?
Ah, do you know what? Yeah.
Is it because it's like Tom backwards?
Do you know what? Yeah? So many people I've been friends with for years. It's because you got the same name.
Yeah,
bruv. You could-
yeah. You think about this
Oh,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and it kind of just stuck.
I love the realization.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I better run some
literally.
tests.
But there's Mothman as well, isn't it? Big ups Mothman. But we used to get compared like, oh, who's who? Do you know what I mean? But
You
yeah. Big
just
ups to
drop
Mothman as
the
well.
H.
Yeah, drop the H. But yeah, like he's been doing bits for a while as well, innit? Like with the RLD and that, like Erica Red, Leaf and that. But yeah, man, Motman. It's not to do with Keith Lemon either. I've been asked that before. Do you know what I mean? That's quite an awkward conversation. But yeah, Tom Man, Motman. Yeah.
No, I like that. I rate that. That's
My
cool.
nan calls me it as well, you know.
Really?
Yeah, my 70-year-old nan just calls me Mot. Give her a CD as well. She was very happy.
Nice, man.
Got my
Nice.
nan bumping the hip hop, man.
Just a freebie there, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah, of course.
going back to that Gangstar track? Did you hear it?
Yeah, it's dope.
I know, man. Like,
I see
'cause
why
we
people want to. Obviously, people are going to be like say certain stuff because it's like, it's a very good link up. But like for some people who are like, oh, J Cole's not hip hop.
Nah,
J.
fuck
Cole's
that.
not
J
good rap.
Cole's amazing.
Do you know what I mean? But like,
J Cole's amazing.
yeah.
It's weird because we spoke about it on the Big Daddy Rap Beast episode, and it was like the night before it was about to drop. So I had my kind of reservations about it, like just being because I did, all I knew that it was a Gangstar track featuring J Cole, and I was thinking, right, so are they going to recycle old bars? Are they like unused bars? Like how are they going to do this? And I heard that beat, and I was just like hooked immediately. I was just like, yeah, this is Gangstar. This is just like, it's kind of like reminded me a bit of Moment of Truth.
Yeah.
I think J Cole's verse was incredible.
Yeah.
But I think like Guru's delivery in his second verse, the one that follows Cole's, just hammered it home, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible, and just
quite
I was
eerie in a
I had
way
the
as
feel,
well,
I had the
isn't it? Yeah.
feels, man, listening to that.
I
I had
seen,
fucking goosebumps and
I
shit.
seen Wu-Tang on Public Enemy last year, and Primo was hosting the whole event at the O2 in Wembley.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Is it God's Rap?
Yeah, Adela Soul as well with there. Yeah,
Rap Tour, yeah.
wicked
yeah.
show, man. Yeah. But for me, he held the show down. Like it was
really?
weird look watching as just a DJ, but the tracks he was playing, and the mix of songs he was playing, it was just amazing. And just to see like no one actually rapping the words, but when he played like a Gangstar song,
Yeah.
and he played obviously like a couple of Mobb Deep songs, everyone in the crowd knew the words, and it was just like I was just like wow, like I bet Guru's looking down like yes, you know what I mean? And it's like it was a real homage to them as well. It was like yeah, man,
Because I heard mixed things about that show.
yeah. To be
I heard De La
Was it-
Soul
was it-
killed it though.
Yeah.
in
I
my
heard-
opinion, they didn't, and I'm gonna get in shit for that.
No,
but
no,
that's my
no, I
opinion.
wasn't
Why-
there, man.
Why'd you think that?
I think like it was like the crowd weren't really like they were still warming up, and I think they done the whole thing of, oh, there's more hip hop fans over here, there's more hip hop fans over there, and it was a bit, for
divisive,
me.
Like,
yeah, but they're legends.
I need to find a text from my cousin who went, because like, I might be getting this wrong.
Like, Meth didn't turn up for Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said.
And ODB's son was ODB.
Young dirty bastard. That I've got a bit of a bugbear about that.
Which is a bit weird.
But, I think that like,
yeah,
because you know you got like Big Pun and then Chris Rivers, who's like a fucking amazing artist in his own right.
Yeah.
And I loved how he's tried to like not obviously he's still he does good by his dad and by his legacy and all of that stuff. But he's his own artist. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, there's something that just rubs me up the wrong way about old Dirty Bastard's son, calling himself Young Dirty Bastard and emulating all of his kind of mannerisms and vocal style.
He had the yellow and black kind of, like, Killer Bees kind of jacket on. He had the hair and everything.
Have a hologram,
cool.
really.
It was cool, but it was at the same time, it was like, you're being your dad, aren't you?
Yeah.
But, like, you got to give it to him, to be fair. It must be hard for him to go and do it. To be his dad as well, and watching, like, do you know what I mean?
No, it wasn't De La Soul, it was Public Enemy that said was amazing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
to be
fair.
No, seeing
he said De La Soul, he didn't really see much of it.
Like, they were good, but I think it was just they were kind of didn't anticipate the crowd as well, I think.
It was sold out show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was mad. I've never been to a show like that before as well. It's like, it was mad.
Have you seen DJ Premier with his like band perform before? Like Brady Watts, like on the bass and stuff.
I didn't even know he had a band.
Oh, wow, Mate, it's sick. So they did a tiny desk concert. Have you seen those before?
No,
they're amazing.
NPR Tiny Desk.
Engineering's great.
Yeah,
I think Freddie Gibbs and Mad Lib's got one coming up as well.
Oh,
so NPR, it's like I guess it's just kind of like a media outlet in the States. But there's they've got a YouTube channel and they do like a program called Tiny Desk, and they've had like Cool G Rap's been on there, Big Daddy Kane, like the Roots have been on there, like everyone's been on there. Do you know what I mean?
And it's like,
not just hip hop though, just like every genre.
But it's kind of stripped down and like live and like real basic, just like stripped down music.
They had like the Blue Man group on there as well. It was like really random.
I haven't seen that,
but DJ Premier was on there with his band, and they had like a couple of. Really, really small brass section, but this guy called Brady Watts, he plays the bass, and follow him on Instagram. It's really dope. He links up with really like dope MCs, and he'll just be like jamming on the bass, and they'll be spitting bars with so many people. I think like Conway and the Griselda boys have done one with him, and like just Talib Kweli,
my favourite one's the Mac Miller
Pharaoh
one.
Monch, like loads of them.
I think my favourite one's the Mac Miller one.
Oh yeah, Mac Miller.
Yeah, I really rate that one. Tyler's created one as well.
Tyler's done one. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, Erykah Badu, that was probably my favourite one. There's been loads, but check it out.
Yeah,
really, really good, man.
With those names, like, wow.
Yeah.
That's good that he covers all music as well.
Yeah, exactly, man.
That's dope.
And to Tom's point, it's really like just stripped back.
Yeah, the sounds and the mixes are just amazing. It's really well done.
So, how did it all start for you, music-wise, and getting into the rapping?
To be fair, I've always been into music, man, since like a young age, really, like ever since I remember. But when like I got into probably like year 7, first year of secondary school, like me, I had a friend who was also into he's more into grime, but we used to battle each other.
Nice.
No one ever see it, but it'd be funny. We just like cuss each other down or whatever. And we just at lunchtime or whatever, smoking a spliff behind somewhere, trying to hide and just rapping at each other, and it was just it kind of just come from that, man. And then I always just wanted to rap, really, but I just didn't know what direction I was going to do it.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start? Because a lot of people will get into sort of just freestyling and battling and stuff like that, but then taking it further, that's quite a big step, isn't it?
I think I realised I didn't want to battle people. Obviously it's part of the thing, like battling's what it is, but it's like I think the whole kind of battle scene is very different now to how it was before me, but like, do you know what I mean? I just wanted to like be able to make tunes and make songs and like and to have like subjects that I can write about, and then I think that was more like the next step, but I didn't know what to do, really. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those. It's like you get in the studio and you make your first track and you think it's going to be amazing, and then it's whack because it's the first time you've ever rapped on something. Like, I'm being honest, I've got like everyone has to start somewhere, I think. Like some of the stuff I could probably find now is quite cringy, but it's learning, finding yourself as well, as weird as that sounds. But it is like yeah, it's finding the style you want and like what sounds right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
So who was the first person that you put a song together with, producer?
Doc Digi, if you heard of him, from Greasy Vinyl. Do you remember them days? Like GV Click. Did you ever hear them?
No,
No?
Tom probably knows them.
Sleaze.
It's ringing bells.
J-Man.
Yeah,
J-Man, yeah.
J-Man.
Bones, who's now Crossbow T.
Right.
And Grammar K.
Yeah.
Grammar K was the first rapper I ever made a track with, and yeah, man, because I was in Exeter. I used to live in Devon, so I've been in Bristol like 4 years now. I think 4 years.
We were chatting about Devon earlier, weren't we?
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
Yeah, it's my second home.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, got married in Brixham.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So you're from Exeter.
Yeah,
originally.
man.
You
Yeah.
know, whenever you say I got married in Brixton, I honestly think you got married in London.
Yeah,
Brixton.
Brixton.
But then,
Very different.
yeah. I know.
That's what I thought Danielle said to me when I first met her. I was like, where? Oh, you mean a small fishing village in Devon?
Yeah, man. Yeah, but Grammar K was the first guy I met, and yeah, that was in Plymouth.
Grammar K's a sick name.
Yeah. Check some of the
Little
stuff out,
double
man. Like,
entendre.
yeah, he smashed it. He done a couple releases in it. Yeah, man. And I had him on my first kind of project I put out. On a couple of tracks, I had him on the track with Cracker John as well, and Cletus.
He's a character, man. Cracker
Yeah,
John.
Cracker's mad. And that was kind of like my first thing was, but yeah, man, they were the sort of first like GV Click were kind of the sort of like local crew that were like. I looked up to them innit, because they're a bit older than me, but they done the whole thing like Sleaze and Sonny Jim were obviously like good mates in it. They used to be there was some big tunes, and he had like Top Billin as well. Did you ever see Top Billin and like Cy Hayes and stuff like that? They're all like Plymouth based, sort of like. I'm pretty sure he might not be if you're not. I'm sorry, but yeah, they're all from that sort of area, and yeah, man, and that was kind of because there wasn't really. There probably is, but like that I knew of, there wasn't really anyone making hip hop in Exeter, so the closest place I already went to was Plymouth, and that it started there, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that really early stuff like on the first like couple? Because you've got like another 2 records and an EP, right? Before
Yeah.
this, which
They're-
like,
I say they're more the mixtapes in a way, even though I put them out as an album. 'cause It's like,
I see what you mean.
they're-
I don't know, they're raw though. but-
yeah. No,
So you got Back with a Vengeance, yeah?
Yeah.
Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah. Got
And
some
Visions of the Vivid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I put out. Was that they've got an EP with Rev as well, and yeah, man, another EP called Scatter Thoughts as well. But that was just like at the time, just trying to stay like doing stuff. But I think you can't rush the album, and this is like I say, this is my first album, like properly album.
It's good.
Like,
It's good to build a foundation, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah,
like
man.
kind of like getting to grips with your craft and like learning who you are as well, and deciding what direction you want to take your music. So that's cool, man. I like that. I rate it.
A lot more Bristol heads on the last project. But
Yeah.
that was more just because I just come to Bristol and I was like, do you know what I mean?
So you had like Bailey's Brown on last.
Yeah,
one.
and Jose.
Yeah.
Jose, Bailey's Brown, Rez.
Yeah.
On that was Parky Beat as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. And but this one, like, I was just trying to.
Were you tight with the Briss heads at that time?
Yeah,
anyway?
I still am, man. To be honest.
Was that? Were you living in Bristol at that point?
Yeah, and I just come up, done a couple of things. Yeah, no, I just moved to Bristol and done the track with Rez. Yeah, man.
He's
yeah,
a cool guy, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's a dad now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Daddy
shit,
Rez.
Yeah, he is. Big
Yeah.
Daddy Rez.
You remember that tune with Jay, man? That Father Figures tune. Yeah. Then they on Section Red, and they got like the little dolls or whatever.
Yeah,
and they're, like,
yeah.
Smoking, loads of drinking. Now they're both dads, isn't it? J Man's got a kid as well.
Oh,
So,
shit, man.
They've got Father Figures Part 2. I think that would be sick. But actually with the youths.
So
Yeah, get them involved.
So when you moved from Exeter to Bristol, obviously Bristol being like tight knit in the hip hop community,
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a big hip hop scene there, obviously. Like, how did you like? What was the process for you then? Did you already have any connects beforehand, or were you kind of like, I'm just gonna put myself out there?
Yeah,
and
man.
meet
I knew a
people?
couple of people from Bristol anyway.
Yeah.
Like Drapes, good guy. He filmed the Never Slackin video. Yeah, man. He's been doing bits for a while as well. He was on Greasy Vinyl as well. Yeah, man. Did you ever see the 0117 ciphers as well?
No, man.
It's like small little like conservatory. It's smaller than this room.
Yeah,
and
I think I've
you've
seen
them.
those.
There's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's like 50, maybe more people in there. Just dopeness, but yeah, he was kind of the first person I knew from being, because he was rapping with what I say about Grammar K and Sleaze and that. He was on their label, so kind of like linked up with him first, And then yeah, man, just more people like Springer, Khalil. They're all doing bits. They've been doing bits for a while. Yeah, man, and like just meeting people. Like I spoke to Rez a bit anyway, and then yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
first person that I listened to from the 0117 was who was it? Jay 0117.
Jay smashed. Did you see Lord of the Mics?
I haven't seen Lord of the Lights. No, I've never actually watched any of those. I
Fair
keep
play,
always
man.
mean to, but I never.
Yeah,
I never
that's
watched
worth checking out. Yeah, he done well on that.
But he's prolific.
Yeah.
Like he's constantly putting out new music
man.
and proper just sort of repping Bristol, isn't he?
Definitely. I think he again he invested in himself really well. He bought a studio.
Did he?
Yeah, he's got his own studio. So like, yeah, and just getting people from other cities when they were coming down to play in Bristol just involved, like people like Eyes.
Yeah.
Deadly as well from like Birmingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely brought a lot more grime into Bristol. Like this is grime anyway, but like he's now got someone who's like, yeah, that's the guy. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he's doing bits. Springer as well is dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
That's just mate. There's just a fucking world of people from Bristol.
Yeah, there's so many rappers I don't want to not mention. Do you know what I mean? There's like so many people that are like, why did you not mention me? But
just all of them.
yeah, all of them. Shouts to Crazy as well. Crazy's been doing bits for ages. You see the Word Life show and stuff like that. Yeah, man. He's the first person who booked me in Bristol as well.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sick, man.
Got a shout out Crazy.
Nah,
Course,
good
man.
stuff,
Yeah.
man. Good
Course.
stuff. So who you like in the kind of UK hip hop scene at the moment? Are you obviously you're a fan of Parky, hence you did a project with him. But
Yeah,
who
man.
Who are you like listening to in the UK scene at the moment?
The Fly Hooligan.
Yeah. Okay.
Bangers. That's who I know. No, there's
Good
other
answer, to
people
be
as
fair,
well,
man.
but he's Parky's cousin as well, you know.
Yeah. Well, he's always posting about him, isn't he?
Banging.
The Fly Hooligan.
The Fly Hooligan.
I've heard of them. I'll check
They
it
used
out.
to be Iron Braids from Triple Darkness.
Right.
But yeah, I got Ray Vendetta from Triple Darkness on there as well, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
all of them boys, they're always,
Yeah.
they've got a lot of material, and I think they get overlooked a lot as well. But they're fucking dope. That real like raw hip hop kind of like, yeah. It's not for everyone, isn't it? But like M9 and that, they're all part of Triple Darkness
Right.
as well, isn't it? But yeah, man, they're sort of guys that I listen to quite a lot, just because it just makes me screw up my face, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I was listening to a tune earlier, and he's got he done a track like for Sean Price, and it was talking about Sean Price and how Sean Price made him want to rap and stuff like that. Just think that's a dope way of paying homage to someone, actually naming the track after them. But
Do you ever
yeah.
listen to your own music?
I do sometimes.
You got to, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
to a certain degree. But I've heard this album about 100 times.
Yeah.
So it's like one of them. It's like I've got tracks I love, and don't get me wrong. But yeah, I think it's you're always your worst critic as well.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a 50-50 question, really. Like
Yeah.
some people will bump their stuff like a lot. Some people will be like so sick and tired of it because they've
Yeah.
like heard it so many times they just can't be asked to listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it's done, as
I
soon as it's put
imagine
out,
like if you make beats as well, to even more, because a lot of guys I know who make beats and rap
Yes.
as well, they don't normally rap on their beats because it's like you've gone through the whole process of making it. It's like by that time you're like, oh, just give it to someone else. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, to a certain degree, you got to listen back to it to see like what you can
of
improve
course.
as well. I think. So,
But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Sean Price, go back to him. We talk about him all the time. Legend.
yeah.
Just, but we chatted about him with Beast last week. We were just
Is it?
saying
Oh,
how
nice.
like.
I think it's like every rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah,
But it just
but we
doesn't
were
get-
kind of like, is it like for genuine reasons or is it because he died recently? Do you know what I mean? And it's like I don't know whether a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
It's like, I've loved Sean Price for fucking years. You know, like
Yeah,
fucking Jedi Mind Tricks days, and well, obviously when he, you know, it's like rock, Helter Skelter. Just he's just such a fucking personality. Do you know what I mean? And the way he just structures his bars as well, with like he starts it with like a random word
Yeah.
and just builds on it.
Where's that what is the tune we was listening to yesterday? That, do you ever see that that Snow Goons one? Get
Yeah,
Off the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I love about that video is like filmed so basically, but it's so fucking dope, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you got the guy's got a shotgun in it, and then it makes a
Yeah.
machine gun noise. But yeah, short. The way he comes in on that is like, you can't rap. Just like no one else. Yeah, you can see why he's a lot of people's favorites, isn't it? But
Yeah, he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
As well, he's like
Take the piss out of
genuinely
himself
so
as well.
fucking funny. Yeah.
in a cool way, and just yeah, man. the whole thing about him, like, do you see that thing about when he slapped that fan as well? The fan jumped up. But it's like the way he dealt with it as well. It's like, fair enough, you could, like, they try to make you look like a dick. But he's like, no, I've had people run up on me before, throw bottles on the stage and shit. So he's like, yeah, this is what it is, man.
Oh, man.
He slapped a fan?
Yeah,
Fuck, I don't think I've seen this video,
I think it's on Vlad. It's on Vlad. You're talking to Vlad, obviously brings everything. Like, bring your darkest secrets up and ask. You've seen Benny the Butcher, his one from Griselda.
Griselda.
He kind of puts it on Vlad. It's funny, man. He's like, why do you always ask these people these questions, knowing we've got these backgrounds or whatever?
Yeah.
He's kind of like, because it's self-incriminating a bit, isn't it? A lot of it, where it's like, so how much of this is real? Do you actually do this? And then it's like, well, they're obviously on the, and a lot of them they're on the platform, so they're gonna say it, even though they might not think it. Like shit, I've just literally just told everyone what I'm doing, but. It was like that. It was like, why do you feel the need to ask people when you've got such a big platform? And you kind of stopped for a minute. And was like, and then like, I only bring it up when it's people who have got past convictions. But it's like, if you're interviewing rappers who are like doing whatever they're doing in their normal lives, it's like, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit bait, isn't it?
It's a bit bait. It's almost like, tell everyone why you went to prison. Like, it's like, well, we're not here. We're about the music, isn't it? It's almost like, yeah.
Oh no, man, but I mean, it's a lot
some of his
clickbaity
fucking
bullshit.
Like the whole Lord Jamar stuff.
Oh mate, yeah. Did you watch the breakdown of Hip Hop DX at all? Like the because Lord Jamal's always going on about fucking Eminem and like being like a guest in hip hop and stuff, and it's just he just comes across as
it's
like
annoying how they always use Eminem, but it's like, what about Third Base and Beastie Boys and people like that? It's like they were around before even Brand New were around, really. So it's like you got to pay homage to them if you're gonna diss all the white rappers. It's like, look at all the people like behind the scenes as well.
I understand like the sentiment.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's just how he I guess how he kind of articulates his point.
And it is black music at the end of the day. I'm not arguing with that, man.
Yeah.
I think once you start arguing with stuff like that, it's...
exactly. I think it's just not it's not so much what he's saying, it's how he's saying it. Do you know what I mean? So you can't deny that Eminem's like had a massive cultural impact on the scene as well.
Well, I wouldn't be rapping.
There you go.
I'll say that now. Like.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Well, you introduced his very first album to me, which I hadn't heard at all a while ago, and it's
what,
insane.
Infinite.
Yeah,
like,
man. So
that's
good.
Like one that a lot more hip hoppy. Like, do you know what I mean?
He didn't play around with the concept so much in it, did he?
No, it's just more like
straight barring,
which is cool. Yeah, but yeah, man.
But the Slim Shady LP's kind of like, I think when most people came into it. Well, maybe even the Marshall Mathers LP. To be fair,
To be fair, because I'm younger, that was the first album I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, and then I had to go back and listen. Do you know what I mean? But
I think mine was Greatest Hits.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's even better though, because you're like, you hear all this, and you're like, actually, let's go find the ones that are more like under. Because I always find with Emmy's got so many tunes as well from like years ago that you kind of just overlooked at the time. Like, it's dope. Like, do you remember that Soldier tune? From
I'm a soldier.
This is that the other day, man.
Soldier.
And the way it's written is fucking dope. But like at the time, it's just like, it's Eminem's sick. Like every track's sick. Like,
I think it was his production for me that didn't really do much for me. I didn't really like it. Obviously, I loved when he was spitting on Dre beats.
Yeah.
But he loved the I don't know. There was just something about his production that just rubbed me up the wrong way.
It's like kind of feels like. I don't know, feels more like drum machines than samplers if you kind of
see
what I'm getting at.
Like, definitely.
Slightly less kind of grit going on somehow.
Especially in like tracks like Toy Soldiers and stuff like that. And I think it's a good track, like lyrics wise, just production. I think I'm just more. I just prefer that kind of like boom bap sample heavy shit because I'm old, but.
I prefer that as well, man. I'm young, so it's
there you go.
I think it's just down to taste. I've got quite an older taste, I think,
on
anyway.
Of course, man.
I was saying this the other day, innit? Like, you say, I'm born in the wrong generation with this MOP, innit? Obviously, MOP are... When it's the MOP, just get a screw face on it. Bit of Little Fame and a bit of, like, what's the other guy? Billy Dan's, innit?
Mm-hmm.
Dope. Is that was that tune, the hardcore one? Bring the hardcore.
Like, man. My favourite is always the Militia.
Yeah, it's like 4 years before I was
with
born.
Bumpy Knuckles, because like Bumpy Knuckles like smashed that in one take apparently.
Yeah,
and it's like the rawest fucking one of the rawest fucking verses in hip hop. It's just incredible. Have you seen the dude as well? He's just like a fucking lunatic. So he did a fucking song, and this is going to be the most like unlikely person you'd hear mentioned on this podcast as a rapper. But you know, like John Cena, the wrestler. He had a fucking album, and he had a track called Bad Man featuring Bumpy Knuckles. And I'm not going to lie, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
I was just like...
Do you know, he used to be my favourite wrestler when I was younger as well. How whack is that? Like, I like wrestling, I'm just wrestling, but like before then it was a lot better. Like before the whole...
man, the WWF days, man.
Yeah, when they turned to WWE, it kind of just got a bit...
Me and my mates used to, what we still do...
Wrestle.
No, one up on that. So we get together once a year for Comey Slam 2, it's 2K19 this year, and we'll just watch like WWF, like 1998 to like 2002, got a long list of fucking drinking rules, and we just like get fucking live and watch loads of old wrestling.
That's wicked.
It's amazing, man. There you go.
Oh, my days, man.
It's amazing, man. There's like nothing better than seeing like the fucking Hell in a Cell fight between Mick Foley and fucking Triple H, when fucking Mankind just falls all the way down from the top of Hell in a Cell. Amazing. You're missing out.
I saw something recently about how they want to make it more violent.
Yeah, they should.
Because it's got a lot
like
softer.
it used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be, mate.
Because it has to get a lot more like family friendly, because obviously a lot of kids
know.
are into it. Not saying it's like a kid's thing, but a lot of the kids are just drawn to it, aren't they?
I used to love WWF. We're going off on a tangent now.
That's all right.
When it was so like, you know, kind of not pre-internet, because it was like early internet days, like, and you couldn't really find anything out like you wanted to on Wikipedia. So you couldn't validate that like the Undertaker and Kane weren't really brothers, or like Paul Bearer, who I recently realised was Paul Bearer, wasn't really their dad. And it was just all really fucking grainy. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, it's
something
not
about it.
The whole thing about it is like it's half real, half not, and it must take like a huge amount of skill to put that show on.
100%.
And yet it's all fake.
But it's too
like,
glossy now.
what's that all
It's
about?
too glossy now. But they had like I remember buying like WWF Aggression on CD, and it had fucking like R.A. the Rugged Man had a track on there. It had like Method Man did the track for The Rock. Snoop Dogg was on there, and fucking like C Murder. Had some really like old school heads on there, like, and it was amazing. Run DMC did the D Generation X one as well.
Yeah.
That was a fucking banging album. I need to dig that up.
Sick, man.
Yeah, so good, man. So there's always been that, like, I guess, you know,
I
link
just
between
remember Undertaker was always
showbiz,
my
isn't it?
favourite.
the Undertaker,
Yeah, man.
until he became like American badass. He used to like come down on a Harley. Anyway, yeah, didn't
I thought
like
that
it.
was great.
Who's the one that killed him? Killed his wife? and
Chris
that?
Benoit, wasn't it?
That was fucked.
Yeah, man. He killed his
Seriously?
kid, didn't he?
Yeah, he
as
killed.
well?
He killed his.
What, in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah, in real
Oh,
life,
right,
man. It was
okay.
roid
That's
rage,
fucked then.
allegedly with his
Yeah.
finisher move as well. No, honestly,
What?
though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
well,
I
that's what
remember
all the
reading
press
that,
was saying,
like,
but it's probably
I think that's
bullshit.
probably one of the reasons why they tamed wrestling down as well. Probably not just that, but like.
Ah, man, there's been so many like deaths though in
Yeah, you
wrestling.
just
hasn't
blame it
there?
on
Like,
something, and it's just like music as well. It's like someone's done this, it's music's fault. Like,
Who's what was it? It's not Rey Mysterio. Who's like Rey Mysterio's brother or friend or whatever?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm on about?
I don't know, man. Rey Mysterio's the short Mexican wrestler, wasn't
He's
he?
still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't watched it in years, to be fair. But like my knowledge doesn't really go much beyond like 2005. But yeah,
Fuck
man,
those,
we've gone
man.
off on a mad
Fuck
tangent
those.
on WWF, but it's all good. Do you want to talk about it a bit more?
Yeah, sure. I'm learning.
No, I don't know much
Top
about
5 wrestlers?
I just used to play it on PlayStation all the time, man. I just love jumping off the fucking cage.
Yeah.
Just sitting, jumping on tables, man. It's quality.
I think Mankind was like one of my favourites because he was just such an like underdog in the sense that all the other wrestlers were all like stacked and muscle bound, and he was just like some big like burly dude with like scruffy hair, and I just thought he was fucking cool, man. So cool. And The Rock was always a dick back in the day as well.
Well, we need to get a track obviously placed on like WWF somehow. Like, we're gonna
That's
do
the
this
dream.
thing.
Oh man, so back to you then, man. So what's so obviously you've just released this. What's the reception been like for the album so far?
Really good, man. To be fair.
Good, man.
Yeah, man. I'm happy with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm kind of shocked in a way. I knew it was going to go down well. I'm not trying to say it like that, but with Parky, if I got something with Parky on it, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, man. It's going to be on Suspect packages by next week as well. So, Bandcamp as well if you want to copy CD. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, make sure you get to that. So where can you find it, man?
Motman, all fucking drunk. Uppercase and a 1. You'll be able to find it. Yeah, man.
It's on all Spotify and stuff.
It's on
as well,
Spotify,
isn't it?
iTunes,
Nice
Apple
one, man.
Music. all of that.
This is quite nice. It's the first time I
It
tried
is.
Magnum today. Original
Maggie.
Jamaican recipe.
Yeah, this episode's sponsored by. No, it's not at all.
That'd be
Imagine,
lit.
man. Imagine.
I was gonna get a Magnum tattoo.
Yeah, come
I
at
was gonna
us.
think about it.
Yeah,
Got a Donny tattoo.
you got a Donny tattoo.
Yeah. The
Well, as
Donny-
in like the kind of like. Let's put it.
Nice.
the Donny D.
Oh,
Not the actual like with the trademark, but I was thinking about it.
I can't believe this bottle's 16.5%.
I can.
Like a bottle of wine.
Because I was
a bottle of
literally
wine's
just
like
talking
12%.
fine and I was
you
like,
just like
"Oh."
neck two of them like in the matter of minutes.
I'm crossing my legs as well. It's bad.
Oh
Isn't
man.
the plan to do more with Mikey P though?
Mm.
Yeah. We were
Good
talking
man.
about this in the car.
Yeah, man.
We definitely.
Yeah, there'll be
definitely
something
should.
else in the soonish.
Oh shit.
Don't want to say when, but
Well, man.
yeah, man. I don't want to set
Tell
myself
us,
a date.
tell us off air, man. Tell us off air. But did you hear that? You know, Task Force obviously had all that kind of.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, I think
saw
they've
that.
settled everything with
Yeah.
brain tax. According to a
Yeah.
tweet from Farmer G, it said that they've resolved everything and now that everything's taken off Spotify. And then any new music that's uploaded is on their own terms. I think that's fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
It's only
That's
taken.
taken so long to do,
Yeah.
man. Hasn't it?
That's crazy.
It's a shame that it's off Spotify, but it's understandable.
Yeah,
hopefully
man. But
they'll-
I mean, it's in their hands now. They can, you know.
What was the
Release it
issue
as they
there?
see
Like,
fit.
it's,
So you listening to any music at the moment, like any new releases? Because we talked about is it the Fly God?
Yeah, like the Fly Hooligan.
That's it, the Fly
Yeah,
Hooligan.
That's
Not.
West Side's thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
that's good.
That's it. I was getting
They
mixed
done,
up, man.
Done something together as well, isn't it? I think I'm pretty sure. But yeah, like I've known about Iron when he used to be Iron Braids, and I've known about him for a while. But yeah, Park's my cousin. That's my cousin. So I've been checking his stuff out as well, man. It's dope, like real grittiness. But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's that kind of like that Fly shit, innit? That's why he's called that. But yeah, man.
Did you do you listen to Verbs' latest track, Run Run, that came out a couple of days
I
ago?
need to.
I
Sick.
still haven't used it
It's
since I actually been
sick.
meaning
Verbs
to.
is a safe guy,
Oh,
man.
fuck, yeah,
like I've
Verbs
known him
is-
for a while from like he used to be in Free Key in it,
Mhm.
which was run by a friend of mine called Ketz, and yeah, he used to be like. It's real good to see him like doing his thing now, because before he was in the crew, and the rest of the guys are dope, but they all make well different kinds of music,
Mhm.
and I think he was always that boom bap kid that kind of like wasn't like. They got videos on Link Up TV and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Where it's
Right,
like
yeah,
it's dope.
yeah.
It's a good platform, but maybe not the right platform for Verbs.
No.
And then you see him doing stuff with Lewis Parker, and like fucking.
Yeah,
fair play to
man.
you,
Well,
but-
this track Run Run, it's got like proper like summer vibes to it.
I definitely check that, man. Verbs,
Yeah,
Verbs a real guy, nice guy, man.
It's released on Group Brazil, I think,
Oh, is it?
record
Is he-
label.
is
Yeah.
he
it's
on Yogo Cop, or is he just?
he's not on
affiliated?
Yoga
Is
Cop,
he
I
not?
don't think.
I
He's
wasn't
affiliated with those guys,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
does a lot of stuff with Slips, obviously.
Yeah.
It looks like they got something else in the pipeline.
Okay.
But yeah, that Lessons of Adolescence was a really sick album. But
Yeah,
this track that's just come out, yeah, it's really sick, man.
I'll definitely watch
Real
that.
like chilled summer vibes to it.
To be fair, I was thinking about like I spoke to Verbs about getting on the album, but it's one of them, innit?
Yeah, man.
It'll happen when it happens.
That's it, man.
Nah, he's a nice guy. He's been killing it for a while as well. It's good to see him getting the recognition, man.
And Ocean Wisdom released a new track, didn't he, as well?
I only listened to it.
Yes,
to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
I haven't
I
heard it.
saw that,
I
actually.
haven't heard it yet
It's
either.
another
It's called
Dizzy. Was it Dizzy or P Money? He's done one.
P Money. Yeah,
Money,
it's
yeah.
Breathe, isn't it? I think it's called.
Yeah, no. It's a
I
hard
haven't
track,
heard it
actually.
yet.
It's hard. I like it.
He's coming to Bournemouth, isn't he? I'm sure he's doing a Bristol show as well. He's touring.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Old Fire Station.
I have no idea who's supporting him, but
Yeah.
so that's the first thing I think. Like, nah, Ocean's sick, man. Like, I think a lot of people like him and a lot of people don't. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Like,
We've definitely
Yeah, you have
drawn
this
that conclusion as
conversation
well.
Oh shit! I've just seen on Facebook. Ghostface Killer is doing a show in Brixton, supported by Micall Parknsun.
but.
Yeah, and specifics.
Specific.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's supporting him.
Guest list for me. No, I'm joking.
Fucking
joking.
like, did Parky
Nah, that'd be
support,
dope to-
And,
Last
um,
Professor at the chip shop.
Yeah,
That's
Parallax.
ridiculous.
I've never heard.
man.
I haven't heard.
Parallax is
Parallax.
Is it?
dope. Yeah, no, check his stuff, man. He's dope, definitely.
All right.
Yeah,
and more to
sick.
be confirmed, man. Just get in
Yeah.
there. Get in there.
Yeah,
17th
Large
of
I'll
Professor.
go just,
November.
I'll try and go just to show his support, man. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not to that.
That's the one. I'm kind of gutted. I don't live like nearer London, because just
Yeah.
having like large pro playing in fucking
The chip
shop.
That's the city. You've been to the chip
Yeah,
shop.
yeah,
What a
yeah,
sick
yeah.
venue, isn't it?
It's
You've got-
just
it's just crazy. And you've got
a
the
small little venue and like
Yeah.
someone as important to the scene is like
Yeah.
fucking large pro playing. I was just like, oh yeah. But I'll be there. I'm going to the Freddie Gibbs Mad Lib show in Brixton end of the month, so I might have to like drop into the chip shop for some food.
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's got to be done, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to that gig because I think it's like one of the like.
Is that in Brixton as well?
Yeah. One of the two shows that Mad Lib's actually going to, because he's only going to like two of the shows in the whole tour.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Freddie Gibbs like going to all of them.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
But
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe
I
just
guess
like
maybe Brixton's like
a big
cool
hub
place.
in it,
Yeah,
like
and
a
it's
big
Yeah.
London in
culture
it.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Because did you see
That's
that?
dope, bro.
Their new music videos, Freddie Gibbs video,
Yeah,
when he's in
yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, man. Freddie Gibbs, just such a G, isn't he?
Like that, he went up in my books there. And that with that video, I thought that was such a cool video, man.
I
Yeah.
used to check that as well, man. I've been slacking.
Yeah.
But it's hard, man. We always say this, it's hard because there's so much fucking music coming out,
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
it's just hard to keep up with it all, man. You got UK stuff, you got American stuff,
Yeah.
you got UK hip hop, you got UK grime,
Yeah.
everything, man.
What do you think of drill?
I can appreciate it,
Yeah.
but I can appreciate it and I can enjoy it, but I can't relate to it in any way,
No.
shape or form. So
No.
it's hard to get like a full enjoyment out of
I
it.
know
Do you know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. No, it's just like to have this conversation with people, and
Yeah.
it's like I think everyone's got a different kind of view on it.
Mm.
Do you see the recent Top Boy as well?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did
Don't
you think?
spoil
You
it,
impressed?
man.
I'm like,
finished.
so impressed.
Yeah.
So impressed. Proper rate it. I think they're doing another series.
I think they highlighted some issues that needed to be highlighted as well, without even necessarily trying to do it. But the whole thing about the gentrification of London, when he
Yes,
come out and he
yeah,
goes to
yeah.
get a coffee.
Yeah. I saw
Um,
that scene. And
and
he's just like, can I just have my coffee?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's there, like,
you
pissing
know what it's
about
like
all
as well. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I
yeah,
just
yeah.
want- But
It
yeah,
kind of
man.
made me want a coffee though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just completely like.
Oh, what did you think of it?
I thought it was good, man. Like, I watched the original ones as well, and I thought it was good. But I seen a lot. Like, I can understand why people were like, "Oh, it's glorifying, blah blah blah." But it's like it's already been glorified anyway.
Yeah.
I think if someone can document something and make it look gritty, it's gonna look less accessible
Yeah,
to kids. do you know what I mean?
I'm in your camp there,
If I
mate.
was like someone growing up in London and didn't like, obviously you'd know what's going on because you'd be living there. But like,
Yeah.
if you're not involved in that sort of shit and then you see that, that's gonna be like, oh, actually, no, I'm not gonna. Start
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
100%.
Do you know
Like,
what I
I
mean?
completely agree. Like, you don't. It's not glorified in any way, shape, or
But
form.
then also I can see why people from them estates might get upset about it being glorified and like
Yeah.
having film
But
crews
it's-
in your area as well. Would be a bit weird.
I completely understand
You know what I
like
mean?
both sides of the argument.
You're documenting and making like money out of sort of the problem, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like the camera crew, they're not going to be there every other week when the stabbings and stuff is actually happening. So it's like, but I think it was good.
I
And
see
Kano-
both- I see
Kano
both-
was brilliant in it as well.
Oh man.
I see
Kano.
both sides of the argument though, because I
Yeah.
think like to your point, yeah, that's a really really good point. But it's on the other hand, it is like being a reflection of society, but it's still escapism. It's
Yeah.
still a show. Likewise with like countless fucking films
Yeah.
about. You know, I said last week, you know, like City of God in like
Yeah.
Brazilian slums and like La Haine, just on the suburbs of Paris. It's
Haynes,
like
brilliant film.
y-
I didn't
y-
watch that until like not that long
yeah, it's
ago,
one of my
man.
favourite films, man. But both of those
Yeah,
films,
yeah.
And it's kind of like, well, you can't always pick and choose when you're going to be
Yeah,
pissed off about something. Do you know what I mean? Well, I guess you can, but
yeah.
you know,
What do you think of? Have you got up to seeing Dave in it yet?
yeah, he's in the first episode, isn't he? In prison.
Yeah. What do
Yeah.
you think of Dave's acting in there? Because I
Yeah.
saw a few mixed things on Twitter about
I thought he was
that
alright.
maybe
I
he
didn't
wasn't,
really-
or maybe he should stick to like sort of just doing
Have you
music,
heard
maybe
Dave
not an
Tom
actor.
as well? Very good artist. This is probably one
Yeah.
of like.
I rate Dave.
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
channel.
name.
Really, yeah,
Dave,
really
who's
inventive
Dave?
name. Simply Dave, isn't it?
That's what. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. What character did he play in it? Because I must have seen. I've seen it. But I-
Mo something. What's
He was in prison. You know the character who's like Kano's nemesis.
Yeah, you know.
I thought he was sick. What, the one with the
Yeah.
He was sick.
Yeah.
Holly. I thought it was
He
really good.
He was
but I
the
thought-
mad guy in it or whatever, innit? The one who comes out and then
Yeah,
he
mate.
got acid splashed in his face. That's another thing. I know it's not obviously it's not being glorified, but it's like
Yes,
it's very current.
yeah. That's true. They highlighted that as well. Yeah.
yeah,
But
sad. But
what I
yeah,
liked
that's the
is-
whole country lines thing as well. You see with
Yes, yeah. I liked as well. They when they went, I don't know where was it Battle on Sea or some?
yeah.
Where was it? Kano when thingy went.
That was really sad, man. Like all of that whole subplot is like really sad. Just how his mum just died. Well, wait, shit. I won't edit it out if you want. But there's something happens, and then it's just he's so matter of fact the way he explains it to like Kano's character, and Kano's just like, mate, that's really fucking bad, and he's just like. Yeah, that was fucking heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, I think
I need to finish it.
I liked how they did sort of highlight that there is sort of there can be sort of a dark problem in some areas of, you know, you literally get a train from London, you know, one of the most multicultural places in the world, to this other town where it's just literally just purely just white people, isn't it? You know, and there is that sort of racism that people have to deal with, and the poverty as well, because they were the people that were staying in their house. Where were they from?
I'm not sure, but they were getting abuse for being immigrants.
Yeah. Well, refugees or immigrants, whatever. But and it was sad the fact that I don't know what pot you topped. This isn't really a spoiler, but when they get up to the bit where she's in the shop and she has to choose between buying food or getting nappies, man, that's just like fuck. You know, it's England, it's the UK, and you kind of think that. I suppose outside everyone thinks UK's got healthcare, UK's got everything, UK's you know. On the up and stuff like that, but then there is actually that really
exactly
low poverty.
We were talking about this like before we started recording. It's the same in like America as well. Like there's that side of America that they just don't want you to see. You go over there, the rich poor divide is so apparent. There's like fucking like shanty towns. There's like a mental health like fucking epidemic at the moment. You know, opioid crisis. It's just like you go over there now and it's just insane, man. And the people who don't like fit into society just get like tossed aside. They just don't care about them.
Yeah.
And it's the same here to a certain extent, just smaller scale.
Yeah. Well, I suppose a lot of programs that highlight the UK and highlight London, you only really see like, you know,
the high flyers, the city slickers.
Yeah, the high flyers. I like the bit that they do show like the markets in London and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you say, like below the poverty line, people just trying to go out every single day to make some money. He's got his fucking Magnum out, man.
On the re-up, man.
To you, Magnum. I'm speaking like that soon. The Jamaican tonic wine.
Oh man.
But yeah, man, proper rate it.
Yeah.
Proper rate it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, and I hope they do another series.
Yeah. And Drake endorsed it as well, didn't he?
Yes, man. Yeah. You
I
fan of Drake?
I don't not like him, and I don't like him. Do you know what I mean? I don't have an opinion on him. And I think that's the best way to be for me, because like I know a lot of people were like, yeah, fuck Drake, Drake's shit, and a lot of people were like, nah, Drake does all this. But then he's done something for the UK, but I think a lot of people will be like, I've seen the whole, you see the Wiley thing?
Yes, yeah.
Suck your mum, never come back to the UK. This guy, the Wiley's nearly 40 as well, isn't it? Well, he must be 40, touching 40. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that's like 16-year-old like school, like. I think Wiley's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, oh, come on. But
it's just like, have you not got better? Like, you'd think that someone that's a bit older would have sort of better things to do than
why
go on
though?
Twitter
Why?
Wiley's like the grime. Yeah, he's the godfather of grime, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
but why has he got such an issue? Like,
well, it's ever since.
It's probably just for self-promotion, though.
Yeah, it's just when album's coming out.
It's a provocateur, mate.
Ed Sheeran thing as well.
Ed
Sheeran's a culture vulture.
Ed Sheeran dropped a track.
I won't get started on Ed Sheeran again because I had a bit of a rant a couple of episodes ago.
I'm not a fan, to be honest.
No, I'm not
either.
I'm not either.
So Ed Sheeran dropped a track with
Stormzy H and JK.
That was a weird track. I'm not gonna lie.
I think the three MCs went in hard.
Basically, Wiley said that. Wiley sent out like all over Instagram on social media that Ed Sheeran, shouldn't have been on it. The grime heads didn't need like Ed Sheeran's endorsement.
That's what I said. Are you sure you're not talking about what I said the other week?
They might as well have just done a track with Jamie Oliver or something. Like, what, Ed Sheeran?
Ed Sheeran.
No, just
give me a break.
But then like Ed Sheeran did come up like kind of. He never was grime, but he like. Remember like Devlin and people like him? They kind of done those.
He dipped into it. I remember years ago, like fucking Ed Sheeran had he did an EP with like Yellow Wolf or something. It was really This is like going back about 10, 12 years.
That's
he's still about. He released an album.
Check it out.
Was it this year?
That guy's a dope.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing though. Like it's Ed Sheeran who's come from playing on the streets to now doing really well for himself. It's not fucking like if it was Harry Styles. Then I'd have a problem because Harry Styles gone to X Factor and just had money pumped into it and had basically come from whatever.
Yeah,
but
Trunk Music
it's
3.
like a different
Some of the
sort of
track
journey.
lists on his album was. You see, he had a track with Eminem and 50 Cent, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, fuck that track, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking
no.
about Harry Styles and Ed Sheeran.
That would be even more mad. But yeah, like, and he had people like.
I was just kind of like, I don't.
Some of the people he had on this album, like, no,
I don't want that.
weird.
I don't want the
that
collab.
collab,
I don't want like the fucking the reunion of 50 Cent and Eminem on a track being on an Ed Sheeran track.
Yeah, nah, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think anyone should get
something else, innit? Like,
credit for not being Harry Styles as well. That's not. Do you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
like, that's not in itself like.
No, man.
But I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I mean,
there's
maybe
two-
it's a bit like.
it's a good argument, though. I see why you like.
There's two sides.
But still, I hate his music.
There's two sides of the argument though, because you can say to Aiden's point, to your point, when an artist with someone of that of that level of fame has the influence to like bring others up and give people exposure and shine a light on them, great, but only when it's like done in a sincere and genuine way. I don't really know enough about like Drake's involvement in the whole grime thing, to be honest, to even really comment it properly, but there's something that's just really rubs me up the wrong way when I see like the likes of Stormzy, JK, and H in a track with Ed Sheeran, and they don't need him. Do you know what I mean?
Do you like mumble rap?
You're just like, yeah.
What was the
like
reason for doing that collaboration?
yeah.
Was it like
I
was
don't
it an
really have an opinion
artistic
on
reason,
it,
or was
to be
it to
honest,
do with
like-
money? Like you have to wonder. Like yeah.
I don't know. I guess what do you class as mumble rap? Like,
I'd probably say more like the American stuff, because
Yeah.
like or Zanny rap, whatever you want to call it, SoundCloud rappers, or whatever.
yeah, like Little Pump and people.
yeah,
like that,
yeah. That's sort
Yeah,
of
I
thing.
don't have an opinion on it.
Just don't.
Like,
Just don't.
I don't
Yeah.
want to say I don't like it because there's obviously I've got friends who are like, yeah, it's the shit, but at the same time, it does nothing for me.
And from a sound engineer's point of view,
The beats
Yeah.
are interesting. I'll say that,
there's
but yeah.
there's such like a mad array of like hip hop and what's doing well and grime and everything at the moment. Like especially where auto tune is actually used as basically an instrument now.
Yeah,
like solely part of the production.
Yeah.
And there are
that's
some
pretty-
tracks where it does sound good and it does work. What are your thoughts towards all that?
Yeah, I think it's awesome as long as it's like used as an effect and not as a like means to just cheat and make someone sound as
Yeah.
though they can sing in tune.
A crutch.
Although like on a practical level, like sometimes you might need to like just tweak something, and it might make the whole track just feel so much better if like something's just a little bit out of tune. But that's a sort of under the bonnet kind of thing about like production, But yeah, like when it comes to I mean, what's interesting to me is like auto tune on drums and things like that.
Seriously?
Right? Yeah, because like so.
I didn't even realize people were doing that.
Well,
man.
you can. I mean, obviously, like it tries to put things in tune, and like drums aren't necessarily tuned to a pitch, except they will have a pitch, right? So it will mess with it. But so probably one of the weirdest sounds I've ever got was sending drums and a vocal at the same time to auto-tune. So auto-tune's like repitching based on the pitch information it's getting from the vocal, but it's affecting the sound of the drums at the same time. So like all the cymbals and stuff are going like up and down in pitch as like auto-tune's pulling the pitch up and down. Anyway, it's extremely nerdy and it sounded kind of terrible,
It's
but
fascinating,
like
though.
interesting.
That's how all of us are just looking at you like.
Well,
Nah,
yeah.
bro, that's
In my
fine.
head, I'm just like,
Carry on, man. Carry on.
But I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You can get like really interesting, very unnatural sounds with that kind of technology,
So
and
the way
that can be really interesting.
The way I
but-
see auto-tune, right, is that, yeah, to your point, it should be used as kind of something to enhance a track rather than as a crutch.
Yeah.
As like, because I'm really into film and stuff, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of akin to like CGI
Yeah,
being
it's like
used,
a post-production
overly
thing, yeah.
used in a film.
Yeah.
When it can like enhance it and make something look good.
I mean,
but don't over rely on it to make it.
Something that's quite mad about auto-tune, I think, is that excuse me, like after it kind of became possible to do that, and like vocals frequently sounded as though they'd been kind of hard tuned. You start to hear like kids singing like that. So like singing in this like naturally singing in this like hard tuned kind of way.
Yeah.
Like where every pitch is bang on. So it's not. It feeds back into the culture like anything.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's insane.
Yeah.
So T-Pain's to blame for all of that, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
alright.
it's like that kind of technology-based sort of feedback into cultures, like being around since like reproduced music's been around, though, you know, because like early record decks, for example, like didn't have like very good like pitch control.
Sorry, who was it? Dre sampled quite a lot, and he used to. I should know this really, but he used to, like, when he used to make certain sounds, he used to record it in a certain way, and it would sound like it's like auto-tune.
Okay.
Roger Troutman.
I don't know. No.
You know, like a lot of Dre's early stuff would be sampled from him.
Right.
But I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But he play an instrument in a certain way, and it would like sound different, and that would like early kind of like
I don't know. Like maybe back in the day you could. You know, you had tape machines that you could speed up and slow down. Yeah. So like a lot of like say like 70s rock stuff, like they'd be tweaking the vary speed on the tape machine all the time. So they'd
like
slow the track down,
track.
Record the vocal, speed it up.
That's what it's sampled from, isn't it? And I think you got the whole bit where it's like.
Vocoder's like the precursor to auto-tune.
But it sounds like super robotic.
Vocoder's hilarious, man.
About all these terms.
But
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You're talking about like 70s like rock and that kind of thing, and just a slight tangent, I promise. Yeah, I was I was watching like a YouTube review on like not review but just like a recap of like The Exorcist, because obviously being like October and Halloween and whatnot, and they're talking about Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells. You know, like I don't know whether you're familiar with like the film The Exorcist or like the music and the soundtrack and stuff, but it's like really iconic.
I've never seen it.
It's really fucking iconic, right? Yeah. But the reason I'm going into it is because this guy Mike Oldfield, he's recorded it. Basically, the way he recorded it was he recorded like 4 tracks at once of like various instruments, then layered it like so many different times to make this like fucking amazingly just massive track, But he's re-recorded the whole thing like 4 times because as technology kind of advances and progresses, he wants it to sound like it does in his own head. But it can never quite get there because technology keeps progressing. So he's re-recorded Tubular Bells like 4 fucking times. It's nuts. I guarantee if you Google it, you will know exactly what it is. It's like synonymous with The Exorcist.
Yeah,
it's
one of those.
Yeah, anyway.
Like watch the film as well.
The idea of like cheating in like record production or whatever, you know, it's not like it's been around for forever, you know, like before, like, I mean, like, because of course it's like the magic of record production or whatever, isn't it? It's just the end result that comes out of the speakers really that's important, and like engineers will go to like pretty extreme lengths sometimes to like get performances, you know, like recording stuff one word at a time or whatever, if it's like a lead vocal or something. Like,
I think rappers do that, like punch-ins, don't they? Like a lot of rappers, like Vinnie Paz famously does it from Jedi Mind Tricks, just like rather than just like recording your whole fucking verse, he just recites a line, stops, recites another line, stops.
Leaf does that quite a lot as well. Like,
does he?
I've heard, I don't know that personally, but
I guess there's a process they're going through to get
with
some result.
Do you think with how so obviously the way sort of music used to be was, you know, you'd only be able to put an album out if you were signed to a label and you had a producer and your proper studio and a proper sort of mixing console. And then now it's sort of if you've got a laptop and a microphone, you can pretty much put out an album. Do you think overall the quality of music has gone down or it's gotten better?
Wow. Loaded question.
Overall,
was it?
well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because there's so much more music now, and I think it's easy to have like rose-tinted spectacles about the past because we tend to remember all the stuff that was good.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
very
all of
true.
That absolute crap
like,
that was about in the 60s and 70s as well. It's like all
there was
the
a lot of
classic
shit
stuff,
hip hop back in the day as well. Really.
But
exactly.
I think it's been a really great thing for like. Just general personal expression and so on, and like it's great that it's way more accessible. It's a shame in a way that all the kind of really established classic studios have pretty much all disappeared now, apart from places like, you know, Abbey Road or whatever, which is practically a museum in many ways now. They still do sessions and they have mastering and so on, but it's not what it was. But it's a shame if the like concepts and the sort of skills about like recording and mixing and like approaching production and so on get lost in that process, you know, because it used to be like very difficult if you wanted to produce records, you had to have like a building full of tape machines and like loads of gear, and it would cost like, absolute fortune.
Yeah, because I suppose like even when I mix and master the podcast, man, it's just there's plugins to do it. You just drop down the fucking preset and, it's done. Whereas I'm sure before
kids
like
these
you
days.
had to do all the things.
Well, yeah. I mean, having access, like power's nothing without control, though, is it? It's like you've got to like still got to make creative choices and use your ears and so on. And like, I think it's really. I mean, I taught myself to like record and program pretty much with starting on Fruity Loops in the 90s sort of thing.
Classic.
Just making like really like abrasive jungle, and like I wouldn't have been able to do that in maybe just about in the like late 80s or early 90s if I somehow could get a sampler and like an Atari or something. But it'd still be like I'd still have to have like loads of equipment to do it. So yeah, it's a shame if I was lucky enough to have like a kind of 2-year sort of like internship that turned into a job at a studio in London where like we did film soundtracks and stuff like that.
Did you?
Yeah,
oh, mad.
that was amazing, and worked with some like amazing people. And yeah, like we did the soundtrack for film Son of Rambo.
Yeah, man.
You seen that?
Yeah, it's got like that Will Poulter in, isn't it?
Yeah.
When he was a youngster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was written by a guy called Joby Talbot, who I think wrote the Father Ted theme tune along with Neil Hannon from the Divine Comedy. So he did a load of recording for that, and like it was like 2 weeks with just like a percussionist.
Yeah.
Just like Q38. We need like one tap on a cymbal here. It was like super precise, and it had all been worked out like way in advance. Like just reams of sheet music and like to see all of that like infrastructure and like or just the whole thing happening and be a part of that was amazing. So yeah, I don't know. It's great to have experienced that as well as like making like jungle on Fruity Loops in the 90s kind of thing. So I have seen sort of both sides of it.
So from going like from that's so like organised to going to UK hip hop, which I'm pretty sure it's safe to say it's quite disorganised. Like you must have had a breakdown, man, when trying to produce that sort of stuff.
No, not at all. It's like doing sessions with Tom have been like just so snappy and fast. Like it really doesn't take us long to like put something. I mean, I probably spend more time fiddling about with the mix than we do actually like tracking it because it's not something that needs to be.
But then
like,
I do try to write my lyrics so it's like we don't need to do it.
Yeah,
that much,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
That's the thing
right.
as well. Sometimes like I know a lot of people would do it as well, and I've done it before in the past.
Yeah.
Where you go with like half lyrics and then you end up finishing the track just right in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's kind of like the recording time anyway. So it's like if you could use that to record.
Yeah.
You've got more of a track there anyway. So.
Yeah, you always come in like prepared.
Yeah, I try to
like,
at least with some ideas.
Yeah,
Sometimes
totally.
like that's not gonna work. Let's try this. But yeah.
Yeah.
So you when you go in and you're writing a song and you're doing, or first when you're doing part of this album, you don't necessarily go in with all your songs written down. You go in. Am I right in saying you go in, you have an idea, and then you sort of work on it as the song's playing, or?
Yeah, man. To be fair, like I probably like write out how long a track is anyway, but then once we recorded it, if something sounds better to say a certain way or something needs tweaking, I think half of the thing as well, it's always going to sound different in your head than when you actually got it out. And for me personally, I find it really helps when I say it on Logic, so I can count bars. Like, do you know what I mean? That's half of the thing, like knowing what 16 is. But when you can find it on the track and you know already where it's going to come in and it's going to end, you're already there. Do you know what I mean? It's a much easier to like lay that down if you've already got like the kind of sequence in your head.
So going back to what you earlier said, it sounds like you're really fucking organised.
Yeah, I guess maybe too
Despite what Aidan
organised. Like, there's tracks as well. Like we were just on like random. Like we done one not that long ago, and it was just literally like that. I don't even know what we called it. That mad one.
Genghis thing.
Genghis.
Yeah. So I
Sweet
just had
Genghis.
like a 8-bar loop of like some tune that I'd started, and like had a little breakdown in the middle with the party track off the middle of what's the song?
Was it Marvin Gaye?
Yeah. What's going on? You know, I've got the multi-track for that somehow. Like an old engineer I know just happened to have it. He's got like a load of like Smokey Robinson multi-tracks and stuff like that. And in the middle of that song, there's like a kind of an instrumental section, and there's just the sound of a like party happening in the background. So we just nicked like bits of that, and it didn't actually make it to the final track in the end. I think there's a tiny little bit of it in there.
You said the bit where it's like, what's your name? Sweet Genghis.
Yeah. It's hilarious. It's so mad to like hear this from, you know, it's buried in the track kind of thing in the original song. But yeah, like so I just like extended it out.
Yeah, that
and,
was
like,
one of them ones
just
where
threw
it was
it together.
That was on the spot.
Yeah,
just because it was kind of, I heard the beat in the studio and I was like, yeah, this is weird.
Yeah.
It's well different, and I kind of had some stuff I've been writing anyway, but just kind of mixed it all together and it, like, yeah, man.
Yeah. But usually I think you've got your bars and like kind of ready, right? And come in and just put it down, and then usually do like a few kind of passes through the whole thing afterwards of just like doing kind of background sort of reactions and stuff to the lyrics and things like that, and usually kind of double track that and just pan those hard left and right so that they sound like there's like a little bit of a kind
That's
of
something definitely
there's just
more
people
on this
in the
album.
background, like
Since I've been working with you, I've noticed that we've been doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas before I used to do like,
I love all those
you know,
little touches,
random ad libs, but then like little,
but it doesn't mess with your like lead vocal like at all. It just like supports it, but it's just like an opportunity to just like add more like, I don't know, like just interest to the track.
So so without giving away obviously what you've got in the pipeline, you can
I'll say one thing. I've got an EP with Rev, Runt Life Records. You might see me put Runt Life a lot.
I have, yeah.
Basically, that's Rev's little label that's kind of like unofficial but official. So like,
how does that work?
imagine no papers have been signed, nothing official has been done.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
And it's all done through the internet.
Yeah.
And I do meet him sometimes. He lives in Malvern, innit? So like near Worcester. So it's like right in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, I think we just go do. Yeah, he's always pretty fucked. And yeah, we just make some music, man.
Ah, see,
like,
I love that.
Yeah.
So if you we asked this to a lot of people who come through. So we won't ask you like your top like 5 rappers or anything like that, because I know it's really kind of like difficult to answer that. But if you could spit over anyone's beat, hypothetically, dead or alive, producer, who would it be?
Producer, like, silence.
Difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like, I want to say Primo, but it's so like, do you know what I mean? There's so many people going to say DJ Premier, innit?
But if it, I mean,
like still, I'd love to. Obviously, who wouldn't? But
trying to think of an obscure one.
DJ Muggs.
DJ Muggs, right? Cypress Hill.
Yeah. Do you see the stuff he done with Mayhem Loren?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Fucking
Mayhem Loren's jokes, man.
I like that kind of stuff, man. Those
Mayhem.
dusty Rock Marciano as well, actually. Those two, I'd say. Yeah. I like their beats. They're very minimalistic, but very like,
He's been about a minute, man, Muggs. I really rated Cypress Hill's latest album, though. Elephants from Acid.
You see, what's the video? And is the one in dispensary where they got all the weed and stuff. You see that one?
It's not Band of Gypsies. No, I can't remember what the name of the track
but they
is.
got Riff Raff. You know Riff Raff?
Oh, Riff Raff, yeah.
Riff Raff's in the video.
like
He's a security guard, like
shit.
chasing them down. That's hilarious.
He was on one of the Fuck That's Delicious episodes, I think.
I love Riff Raff. I think
Yeah,
he's got some very bad tunes, but he's got some very good ones as well. Like
he's just a character, though, isn't he?
like
he's quite
Dirt
endearing.
Nasty as well. You see
Yeah,
much of his stuff?
yeah.
Hilarious, man.
Oh man! So before we
Yeah,
wrap up,
anyway,
man, actually a couple of things wanna call out beforehand. So when this drops next Wednesday, tomorrow night. So I'm talking tomorrow. If you're listening now, there's a show down at the Cellar Bar in Boscombe. We've got Easy Life playing, so make sure Bournemouth heads get down there and represent the scene. Also, this week, Rodney P's playing in Wimborne, which is really random.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and Dub Pistols. I thought that was a bit weird.
Whereabouts is that?
The Allendale Centre. I'm not even entirely sure what that is. Some girls waving at us from window up there, so all right.
Hey.
And now they're embarrassed.
Turn
the camera on.
Oh God. So anyway, so Bournemouth heads, make sure you get to the Cellar Bar in Boscombe tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. I think they're starting, and show some love for the local scene. So, Motman, Is there anyone you want to plug? Anything you want to shout out beforehand?
I'll just say a couple things. Dog snatching. I'm gonna snatch all the dogs. Basically, it's a joke, man. Don't worry.
Don't do that.
No, I won't rob your dog. Your dog's alright. It's a joke, man. Basically, we're just doing like me and my mate Patrick Donsdale, as you can see his name anyway. Hold tight, Patrick. That was the first guy I ever rapped with in school, childhood friend. Me and him, we just got some mad little like. We done the tune on some crazy like dance hall, and just like it's just a bit of fun, man. Like a lot of people are gonna be like, what the hell? But that's what we want.
Nice one.
That's all I'm saying. And Outcast EP with Rev coming soon. Shouts to Parky. Shouts to Shotgun The Aux. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Tom. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming down, man. Toms, both of you, man.
Yeah, so many Toms.
Really, really appreciate you making
Sorry
the journey
about
to
having
come down.
Go for a little whiz and that as well, man. Just the magnums, like.
So
cool. Man, honestly.
No, it's been a pleasure. It's been really nice.
So before we wrap up, Aidan, where can you find the show, man?
So you can find the show on any podcast streaming platform, on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Stay updated on Twitter. Give us a like, subscribe, tell your mates.
One last thing.
Go on.
So we've also started to drop some blog posts as well. So any aspiring writers, blog writers, music journalists, reach out. And we've got a temporary website at the moment, shotguntheaux.home.blog. So if you want to go and check that out, you can find some cool content on there as well. But yeah, we're at Shotgun The Aux, all platforms. Motman, where can you find you on social media, man?
To be fair, Instagram's the best. Motman official. Facebook, you find me. Just write Motman. I'm about.
Nice one, man. Nice one. Nice one.
Nah. It feels good. Everything's on Spotify, iTunes now, so it's like you could just dish out all the links.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got on Amazon, Google Play.
And Tom, man, you might as well plug your kind of audio engineering services.
Oh well, just get at me through Tom if you want.
Yeah, if you want really good quality sound music.
I just had to move out of my studio because my landlord was trying to rent it out to people, including all my equipment, without my knowledge. So that's the kind of thing that goes on.
Yeah,
that's heavy.
Yeah, so I'm between studios at the moment anyway, but we're still going to do
definitely.
Stuff.
But definitely,
wow, mate.
Worth a shout.
Bedroom studio vibes from now on.
Perfectionist. Tom is a perfectionist.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Time.
If you got a film, if you got a play, man, he'll do the sound for it. If you got an album you want to do, this is your guy.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, well, anything.
Right, and we're going to play out with. Let me just check the track we're going to play out with. Never Slackin, featuring Micall Parknsun. This is on Motman's latest album. Go cop that. Everyday Crafts on streaming platforms too.
Big ups, everyone. Safe.
Peace.
Nice one. Cheers.